If you want to make an omelet, you're going to have to crack some eggs. You're going to have to break some eggs. There's several versions of this particular idiom. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and our idiom today is you can't make an omelet unless you're willing to break a few eggs, unless you're going to break some eggs. Any way you look at it, in order to make an omelet, you got to get the egg out of the shell, and that requires breaking the egg open in most cases. Now, this idiom has been around since the 1700s in French. It was first I guess, uttered or made popular by Francois de Charest or something. I'm not quite sure exactly how you pronounce his name in French. But in 1942, it was translated into English, and it's been popular ever since. It presupposes, it basically says, it's impossible to achieve something without there being some sort of bad or unpleasant side effects. Now, this, to me, is kind of silly because it assumes that in order for anything to happen that you want, something bad has to happen or something negative has to happen. Now, I know we live in a dual universe where positive and negative, good and evil tend to balance one another off. But I don't think that whenever we have something good happen, we have to assume, something bad is going to happen as well. You know, when we're building, when we're growing our business, just because you start a business doesn't mean something bad or there's going to be a negative side effect of that. Now, there may be, but it's all determined by how you choose to look at the situation and look at things. I think that this idiom presupposes or supposes or assumes that there can't be such a thing as a win-win situation. Now, when it came about, of course, there'd been centuries of win-lose experiences that people have had. But I think in the last at least 50 years, at least since I've been alive, there's been a movement toward good things can happen, and it doesn't mean bad things have to happen. Now, I remember in corporate America, we did something called, and we looked at opportunity cost. And to me, that's kind of a scarcity measure in that it's looking at things that didn't happen that might have happened if you'd made a different decision or choice. Yep, you can study the things that might happen all day long, but until you take an action, until you do some work, till you put some effort toward moving toward what you want, you really don't know what the cost of anything is going to be or what the results of anything is going to be. I've done a lot of opportunity cost exercises, and I kind of think they're exercises in futility in that they're just studying what might have happened but didn't, the choices that you didn't make. They're looking at the problem, not at the solution. They're looking at the loss, the negative, but it's made up. So it makes us feel like we're victims in our lives and our business because we missed that once in a lifetime opportunity, which there's no such thing, right? Opportunities, we take advantage of opportunities when we're ready. They're always around us. The world is swirling with opportunities, infinite possibilities and infinite opportunities. So to think that there's a cost associated with missing one it's just kind of silly, and it's focusing on what we don't have and don't want instead of what we do want. So I would love to know your experience with this particular idiom or expression. I don't know that I've ever said, if you want to make an omelet, you got to break some eggs. Or I'd say, hey kids, let's have omelets for breakfast, get the eggs out. And then of course we broke the eggs and we didn't really think twice of it. Now, could you be the glass half empty kind of person and looked at, oh my gosh, if I eat an omelet, that's a chicken that didn't live and didn't, have a life experience. Or yeah, you can go that way if you want, but is that moving you in the direction you want to go? Is that progress? I guess I look at life and every situation, every experience I have, as long as I learn the lesson from it, as long as I learn something and take something away from that experience, it wasn't a bad or negative experience. Now, have bad and negative things happen to me? Heck yeah, just like everybody else, like really bad things. But I take the lesson that I learned from those things and move forward. I don't dwell on, oh my God, I'm a victim. Isn't this awful? How could this possibly happen to me? Because I've done that in the past. And the longer that we dwell there, the longer we focus on what isn't working for us, the more unhappy we are. Kind of reminds me of prescription drugs and the side effects, and that we've, as a society, been conditioned and trained to believe that we have to take these drugs, these prescriptions, and we have to just live with the side effects. When I was in my 20s, I was really, really sick. I had lots of inflammation problems, and they didn't know what was wrong with me. And I went to doctors for several years and realized that they couldn't figure it out. They were giving me prescription drugs as Band-Aids to the symptoms that I was experiencing. But by treating the symptoms, the side effects of the medications that they were giving me were actually more debilitating than what was wrong with me. And at some point, I took back control of my life and my health and my situation, and I just stopped taking all the prescriptions. And that's when I realized that it was indeed the side effects that were causing me more harm and more symptoms than whatever it was that was systemically wrong with me. And that's when I started to actually live my life. And so this idiom reminds me of that. We don't have to take a prescription drug. That is not our only solution and our only alternative to any problem, any challenge. There's always more than one solution. There's always infinite possibilities, but we're the one that has to be willing to go look for that in our lives as well as in our business. That's our idiom for today. Have an absolutely amazing day. Love to know your experiences with this. I guess I have a lot of thoughts about this particular idiom. When I first grabbed it today, I guess I didn't think I thought that much about it, but as I started thinking about things and applying it to my business and my life, I realized that they mean a lot to me as well. All right, have an amazing day. I'll be with you around with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it in your business right now? Take care.